Welcome back in the pursuit of wealth. Tilray traders and investors, it's Rod with POW Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Wednesday, August 13th. Happy hump day and hope you're doing well. In this video, another exciting update, Tilray brands Italy. We've got an exciting update there, and we're going to take a look at a bullish continuation pattern. Spoiler alert, it could be bringing us to $1.73. We're going to look at that as the next potential target. We'll bring up the price action and the chart technicals. I'll go over that, what to expect in terms of the price action in the days and weeks, months ahead. As always, this is not financial advice, though. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. This is for entertainment purposes only. And full disclosure, I do own Tilray in my portfolio. It's my largest portfolio holding. You can like the video, subscribe, take the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos. Follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPOW. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And speaking of X, we had the post here from Tilray's official X as well. Tilray Medical forms strategic partnership in Italy to broaden access to medical MJ extracts. Tilray's FL Group teams up with Molteni, a major pharmaceutical firm focused on pain and substance dependence therapies. So this is going to be a huge category. And again, we continue to see Tilray lead pretty much in all fronts. They operate in more countries than most U.S. operators operate in states. So in my opinion, there's not even really a close second. In my opinion, it's maybe Curaleaf, but I'm biased. Tilray's my number one holding and Curaleaf's my number two holding. But when it's all said and done, I do believe this is the Tilray brands and the Curaleaf show. And I would want nothing more long term than to see a mega merger between those two companies. I think it would go over very, very well. I posted this news yesterday as well. They have the new 10 milligram hemp derived HD9 drinks. They're going to be offering the 10 milligram options, variety packs. That's going to be for Fizzy Janes and Happy Flower. I posted a video on this yesterday. If you haven't seen that, you can just go over here to videos and click on that video there, and you can get all the information pertaining to that. But I did go over a little bit of a technical analysis bullet pattern on the chart, but we've had tons of buy alerts go off on Tilray here in the POW Algo alert service. And this one, the most notable, July 2nd, we had the bullish triple thunder crossover. So that's a custom proprietary algorithm. And what happens is when these three conditions are met, this alert fires off. And it's extremely bullish, especially because it's on the weekly time frame and because three major patterns and major indicators that I like to follow, I find these the most accurate. And when all three of these happen simultaneously, you usually see a massive, massive move ensue. So weekly close over the 10-week moving average, we got above that. We had a MACD bull cross and a weekly stochastic bull cross. This fired off on July 2nd, folks, and the price closed at 48 cents. If you take a look at July 2nd here, you can see the closing price was 48.5 cents, and here we are, $1.20. So you're given multiple, over a month heads up at this point, and that's why we want to utilize POW Algo alerts. That's how amazing it can be. Give us this massive heads up and early buy and sell signals directly in the POW Group private community or in email or both, however you have it set up. So again, I couldn't imagine not subscribing to that. And all the people that, I think there's close to 50 people now subscribe to the Algo service, and everybody has nothing but good things to say about it. Do yourself a favor and check it out. So here was the news. Officially, Tilray Medical forms strategic partnership in Italy to broaden access to medical MJ extracts. So you can go through this whole article here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Pretty much summed it up nicely with what I just said in their X post, but Tilray Medical continues to lead the European medical MJ market with operations in Germany, Italy, Portugal, Poland, and the United Kingdom. Folks, Tilray is a global powerhouse in the making, and with rescheduling potentially imminent, they even said that they could potentially look at another acquisition in the US if we do start to see rescheduling. There was an interesting article out today about MediPharm Labs and rescheduling in the U.S. opportunity and how they're well positioned for that with the FDA. And keep an eye on that. Don't go sleeping on some of these acquisitions. Tilray, I started to think when I saw that MediPharm Labs article, I thought, might Tilray buy them? And maybe they'll buy somebody else. But if that opens up, if rescheduling happens and it opens up medical in the U.S., that's going to be a massive opportunity for Tilray, pretty much all these other companies as well, but Tilray I think will be well positioned. And as Erwin Simon said, whenever I interviewed him, he said if medical were to happen, he said they could be in that market in 60 to 90 days. if MJ beverages were legal, they said they could be in that market within 60 to 90 days, folks. There's nobody else that has the infrastructure and the whole capex, the whole footprint around the world. There's a reason why Tilray continues to lead in all markets, and yeah, we're finally starting to see the stock price. Had no business being down around 30 cents, 50 cents USD. That's just absolute madness. I think the market cap got to around like 500 million. Well, just you basically blink, and now look, we're at 1.22 billion US. So we're about 1.5 billion Canadian now, and this is still extremely undervalued in my opinion. This should easily be at $1.50 to $2, just fair market value in my opinion. But yeah, Tilray, no net debt. They continue to pay down their debt like you wouldn't believe, and yeah, they talked about doing share buybacks, but that again, they want to pay down their debt. They want to save their cash for strategic acquisitions, and they're paying down their debt. They're not quite profitable yet. They're getting close. But once a company pays down their debts, once they have no more debt, once they have or negligible debt, and then once they have profitability, especially like free cash flow, those kind of metrics, positive EPS, those are going to be big clues that we're more than likely going to see a big move in terms of price, because that has been what's really holding back Tilray for a while now, has been dilution, their profitability and their balance sheet. But we're really starting to see improvements there. And if we get excise tax reform around the same time as rescheduling, I've always been of that thinking, because we're probably going to get improvement on both fronts around the same time, right? They want to keep a level playing field. And in my opinion, the reason why they did this for so long, the reason why they keep the excise tax so high and 280E tax is to weed out, no pun intended, all the small operators, right? They do this with every industry. They make it sound like it's a level playing field. Everybody has equal opportunity and social justice, all this stuff. But we know that it's the big corporations, the ones with deep pockets, that are going to just, dilute and raise, and, they have deep pockets. They got backing from, the big alcohol, tobacco giants, big pharma of the world, and then they weed out all of the mom and pop operators. That's just how it works. And it's definitely intentional in my opinion. But this is the bull flag here at the moment. We have a 2-hour one. So if we go from the low here to the high, you can see we held the 0.3 to fib to perfection. So as of right now, this is a perfect save. So key support is going to be 93 cents. If we lose that, then we're no longer expecting this to play out. But if we maintain that support and don't close a candle below that on the 2-hour time frame and break above 120, that's going to confirm it. You just take your measured move there from the low to the high, and you're looking at a move up to around 173. So just imagine if you were able to get this at 48 cents when the POW Algo alert went off, the bullish triple thunder crossover, that if we hit that target of 173, that would be an early heads up and buy signal of over 250% on the POW Algo alerts. So again, it's a great way to not have to spend as much time doing charts as well. I used to do all this manually. You probably are familiar with this chart. I've shown it probably thousands of times now. So essentially, I would look for these manually, but instead of me going on these charts and looking at them, 24/7, 365 manually, I put my brain essentially into an algorithm, and it does it for me, and it sends out alerts in real time, and you also get it in the POW Group private community or in email, both, whatever you want. So as you can see, this is when the alert fired off, and we've had tons of upside since. We have some runway until about the 50 weekly there at 145, and then after that we have nothing until 286. So things are going to get pretty nutty here in a hurry. A lot of our MJ names are starting to run back towards their 200 weeklies, and in VFF's case, it actually exceeded its 200 weekly moving average. OGI is still trying to get above its 100 to head toward its 200 as well, but as you can see, we're starting to see this trend emerge. Cron got above its 200 weekly moving average as well. So if Tilray were to do something similar, we'd be up around 280, 290 USD. And we just had a bull cross of the 50 and the 100-day moving average. Probably going to be at least a few weeks before we see a golden cross, but that makes sense because it's probably going to be a few weeks before we see an announcement. That's literally what they said or I guess, was that yesterday or 2 days before? They said it was going to be within a few weeks they would have an announcement. So I do think it's going to happen more than likely sometime around September, October. That makes a lot of sense because that's going to be when they wrap up crypto legislation. They already got the Genius Act done, Clarity Act, which is market structure for crypto. Once they get that done, there'll be no more crypto legislation. It'll be all defined, clear rules of the road. Then I think they're going to pivot over to MJ. All right, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. and we'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you again on the next one.